Crown Jewels is Saturday, and we have 5 matches on the card, including 2 title matches and a street fight, and I'm here to give my predictions on each and every match, predicting the winners and how I think the storylines might go, but make sure you play along by putting your predictions in the comment section below. Starting off, we have John Cena versus AJ Styles in a match that really hasn't had much build-up. It's all been on social media, and none of it has been on Raw or SmackDown, but a match I am very much looking forward to given the quality of their matches in the past. I believe the trilogy right now is 1-1, that AJ Styles beat John Cena at SummerSlam, John Cena beat AJ Styles for the title at Royal Rumble, and now they're finally having that trilogy payoff. And while the match quality is never really in doubt, the match result is the one I'm kind of pondering on, as there's a couple storylines I think are going on here that I don't know exactly what they want to go with, and so I'm going to predict that John Cena is the winner, and here's exactly why. I think that AJ Styles already has a backup plan built into this match. He's been teaming with Dragon Lee. They want to keep doing that, so at any point, if John Cena beats AJ Styles, AJ can just go back to being a tag team wrestler with Dragon Lee. They can go towards a tag team championship and not have a singles loss really affect any momentum or any sort of ranking if they do that. But also, if John Cena is to beat AJ Styles, AJ has already said he plans to retire in like February or sometime next year, so there really isn't much he's going to lose from losing to John Cena, and of course it's John Cena. You're not going to lose any momentum or any sort of hype because you lost to John Cena, but same can be said for John Cena. He's retiring in December. If he loses to AJ Styles, it really doesn't really damper his resume because it's still John Cena. I think they're going to have John Cena in that War Games match, which I'm predicting is going to be like the Vision versus John Cena and Cody Rhodes and CM Punk and Roman Reigns and all of that, and so I don't want John Cena losing to Brock Lesnar and losing to AJ Styles and they kind of throw him in there because he's just John Cena. I want to have some sort of more of credibility towards John Cena's name, that where it's like, listen, he just beat AJ Styles, yes, he can help us beat Braun Breaker and help us beat Seth Rollins. I don't want to be like, okay, well, he's just lost to Brock, he lost to AJ Styles, we just have him because he needs a date on their card, let's just put in John Cena. No, I want to kind of have, not say build up John Cena, but give him that credibility of, yes, he is John Cena, he is the 17-time world champion, but he's still putting on banger matches and he's still winning competitive matches. And with his final match likely to be against Gunther in December, I do want to give that kind of rub to Gunther. Listen, he's not just beating a guy who's lost to everyone else. He's beating the 17-time champ. He's beating a guy who's now beaten AJ Styles. He's won the War Games match, and that's the momentum you're going to get off of that. It doesn't really help if you just kind of beat a guy who's lost every match. You're not getting any more extra rub. You're just the next guy in line to beat him. So I'm going to say that AJ Styles and John Cena do win the match, and I think they might actually start the show. Going into our tag team match, we have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane, and this build-up has been absolutely incredible. Outside of the more recently developments of Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso and what they've been doing there, this has been the best build to a show that I've seen in a while. This, and I really like the Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes build, but Raw and WWE has dedicated a ton of segments, whether it's opening segment, backstage segments, they've closed Raw out multiple times. They are really pouring it on for this match, and I think it's going to show the reflection of that in the match, not only the quality, but the direction they're going to go with this. It is very likely that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky win. You have the heels kind of stand tall most weeks. They've gotten the better of them, but then you have Rhea and Io kind of get the big win in Perth. Plus, Rhea Ripley is the hometown favorite. She could easily just win, and that's a great story. But I don't want to do that. I want to keep building this. I want to build it to an eventual triple threat with Asuka and Kairi Sane and Io Sky, hopefully at WrestleMania for a title. But I also could see Rhea Ripley and Io Sky continuing on a tag team or going their separate ways after this, and you have the Kabuki Warriors go on to maybe even win the women's tag team championships from Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I think if you have all these attacks and that the Kabuki Warriors just turn on Io Sky just to come down the line, and the first match you have, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, they just win clean. It doesn't really give much of a storyline afterwards. It could simply be you win, Monday Night Raw, you come out and celebrate the Kabuki Warriors attack, like we're not finished with you, and that's just very lazy booking. But you come out and you have the heels be dominant, and they win clean and dominantly against Rhea and Io Sky, two of your top, probably the 2 top stars you have in your women's division, and you beat them clean, and you can have the excuse. Listen, Kairi Sane, Asuka, they're tag team wrestlers. This is their game. Rhea and Io, they're not tag team wrestlers, so they aren't even a tag team. So they shouldn't be able to compete against this tag team, a credible stature of Kairi Sane and Asuka. So of course they're going to lose a match, because in a tag team match, the tag team specialist probably should win. They know more things. They have more experience in this. So I want to have the heels win. It could lead to a women's War Games match. It could lead to a women's tag team title match down the line. Maybe even you have Kairi Sane and Asuka win the women's tag team championships, and then Rhea and Io Sky defeat them for the tag team titles later on. but I don't want to have the Kabuki Warriors reunite just to have them lose so soon. It just doesn't feel great. It feels very lazy booking to have the heels just lose the first match. I love Rhea Ripley, I love Io Sky, I would want to see them win, but I just don't think that's the best way to go about the storyline. It just kind of feels dead after that. Once you beat them, you're done. No point of having it again. Sure, Kairi, Sane, and Asuka come out and just attack them or give a reason why they did this or challenge a War Games match, but I think it's much better if we are leading to a War Games match or a match down the line. Have some build up, take your time, give these long-term storytelling aspects of it. Don't just rush right to giving the babyfaces the win. Let the heels win. If you want to have the babyfaces win at War Games, you can do that, but I don't think Crown Jewel is the way to do that. So I'm going to say that Kairi Sane and Asuka are the winners. Now our last non-title match is Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. This is the newest match added to the card. It was added Monday when Roman Reigns challenged Bronson Reed to a match, but they said not here, not on your doing, it's our time. They're going to choose a stipulation, choose a time, and they chose Crown Jewel and they chose an Australian street fight. I think it's very simple. I don't like how they keep putting younger talent in these big matches and they keep making them lose. Give me Bronson Reed as the winner. You have the built-in excuse for Roman Reigns right now. It's a street fight. You could have Bronson Reed come out and attack him, make it a 2-on-1. You could have even some more bloodline story where maybe Jimmy Uso comes out, that Jey Uso comes out, but Roman doesn't want him to help him out. He wants Jey to focus on himself, and that could cause a distraction. But getting Bronson Reed to pin Roman Reigns would be great. I don't like when you try to give a talent a rub just by saying, oh, you were in a match with Roman Reigns. That doesn't do it for me. I'm in a match with Roman Reigns, and then I have another match with Roman Reigns, but I just keep losing and losing and losing. No one's gonna take me serious. It's what happened with Bray Wyatt and the Fiend gimmick. He had all these great, incredible, high-profile matches, but he simply just lost. He lost all the big matches, and you're like, why would I take him serious? Like, he has all this great feud, all this great build-up, but he's going to lose the big match, so why would I put any stake in him? So if Bronson Reed just keeps losing to Roman Reigns, why would I care? But we give Bronson Reed a huge win over Roman Reigns. We have that pinfall visual that Bronson Reed just pinned Roman Reigns regardless of how we get there. That is huge for Bronson Reed. And I have Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns in that War Games match, so I want to keep building to that. If Roman Reigns just keeps pinning Bronson Reed, how are you logically going to tie that into a storyline for the War Games, for the next month of storytelling? You really can't. So Bronson Reed pins Roman Reigns. Sure, maybe Braun Breaker comes out. I don't think Seth Rollins comes out. Maybe a new Vision member debuts and he attacks and sets up this. But I don't think Roman Reigns should win. He's done enough. He's Roman Reigns. He'll bounce back. He could get pinned and oh well, it's Monday night. It's Roman Reigns here. We're cool. Bronson Reed wins. He pins Roman Reigns. That could be huge for him. I think we should be pushing Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker to those tag team championships, and they beat the Usos. They beat Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. They have legitimate stake, legitimate claim for those tag team titles. And another win over a huge dominant force like Roman Reigns would be huge in furthering Bronson Reed as a character and a staple and a main event level talent. Because right now I kind of feel like Bronson's to the wayside. We have Seth Rollins. He's the Vision. He's the champ right now. He's awesome. We have Braun Breaker. He's the future. We all know it. We all know Braun Breaker is going to main event WrestleMania. We all know he's going to be a World Heavyweight Champion at some point, but Bronson kind of feels left out. If he isn't paired with Braun Breaker and they're not being a tag team, what really does Bronson have going for him? It's not a whole lot of anything, so he can pick up a one-on-one match, a victory against Roman Reigns. I think it'd be great in solidifying him as a part of the staple and a very legitimate threat. So when Roman's away and he makes another return to someone else, you can have Bronson here week after week being that dominant force that just is a great heel. He doesn't have to be World Heavyweight Champion right now. Maybe he goes for the Intercontinental Champion. Maybe he's a Tag Team Champion. But he's going to be here. He's going to be a workhorse, and I want to give him that huge push with a win over Roman Reigns. Now, the first of our championship matches is the Women's Crown Jewel Championship, and it is Stephanie Vaquer, who is the Raw Women's World Champion, and Tiffany Stratton, who's the SmackDown WWE Women's Champion. I've seen in the comment section, people are saying, Stephanie Vaquer, she's new, she can afford to lose. Tiffany Stratton, she's been champion for over 200 days. She is going towards that longest Women's World Champion of all time, and so you don't want to make her lose. But I think of the exact opposite. She has that built-in excuse where she's been champion for almost 300 days. Stephanie is that new champion. They are pushing Stephanie to the moon, and I think we continue that. I say Stephanie should beat Tiffany Stratton, have a great match. I think Stephanie should win. Tiffany goes back to SmackDown, has a new feud, and Tiffany still wins that, continues her reign, because she's done enough. We have seen the quality of work. We have seen her on SmackDowns time and time again. I mean, she beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. She is a solidified main event talent. Stephanie is new here. Her picking up a win over Tiffany Stratton only boosts Stephanie Vaquer and doesn't take away from Tiffany because she's losing to Stephanie Vaquer, who is that women's champion who just beat Io Sky and is doing all these incredible things. So to lose to that doesn't hurt you at all. But you having that 260-day reign, we can use that to help build Stephanie even more. So the title actually doesn't matter. No one cares about the Crown Jewel Championship until Crown Jewel's around next year. I mean, do you care that Cody Rhodes or like Liv Morgan won it? No, you really don't. So in reality, it doesn't matter. They're not actually losing their titles, so let's give it to Stephanie. Let's let Stephanie win. Tiffany can go on. Someone can use that as an excuse for why they want to feud with Tiffany next time. They can say, oh, you lost this match to Stephanie. They can have a match, and Tiffany can prove that she is still the best woman on SmackDown. And so while I do have Stephanie winning, I do have to point out that the build for this match has been very lackluster. Yes, you're automatically entered into this match because you're the champion. I'm cool with that, but what they've done with that has been nothing at all. We had Stephanie appear backstage on SmackDown before a triple threat with Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, and Jade Cargill, and she visited each challenger talking like, listen, if you win, I'm facing you at Crown Jewel. I kind of was going to get a picture of what I'm looking at, and then Tiffany won. Then we had a contract signed the week afterwards, but then I had Julia and Kiana James interrupt, and it was just a weird where Julia attacked Tiffany Stratton, but then she kind of got some retribution on her, and it's just kind of all over the place where a build to this match isn't really building to this match, because now on SmackDown we have Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vaquer teaming up together to take on Julia and Kiana James. So it really hasn't been building great to this Crown Jewel Championship match, but it'll be a really good match just without the quality of the build-up. And in the main event, we have undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes taking on World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, and this has been a great build-up. They have taken every moment they can to build this up, and it's been perfect. All the video packages, the promos, they're telling the story of Cody Rhodes says he's the QB1, he's the face of this company, and Seth Rollins is saying, why is it not me? If you're saying you're the QB1, what does that make me? If you're the A+ player, am I just a B player? Am I the A-? Why can't I be the one? You were gone in AEW, you were gone somewhere else. I was here winning championships, carrying this company, and you come back and now I get pushed down. I'm relegated again to the second player. I'm the Raw champion, but I'm not the corporate champion. I'm not the guy. And Seth has always wanted to be the guy, whether it be Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. There's always someone coming back to take away that main status from him, and he's kind of over it. And they did mention the WrestleMania 40 match where Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins teamed up to take on The Rock and Roman Reigns, in which Cody did lose that match. But then in that actual title match with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins was the Shield. He did come out there, take the shot that allowed Cody Rhodes to win the title and rid the evil of Roman Reigns from the World Heavyweight Championship scene. And they're backtracking now, saying that Seth was never Cody's friend. He was just the lesser of two evils. He would never shake his hand, never say he's the better man. But in reality, they've done all those things. They've shaken hands. He's raised his hand. He's done all this stuff. They're kind of backtracking, and I get it. They've now said that we did all this. We took all this away from Roman Reigns, and within 6 months you're teaming with him at Bad Blood. So why did we do all of that work if you're just going to tag team with him? And so Seth has every right to be angry at Cody Rhodes for that, but they have had their match in the past. Cody Rhodes is 3-0 against Seth Rollins in televised matches since Cody has returned to the WWE. So I think it's perfect time for Seth Rollins to win one against Cody. And this is even further pointed out on Raw this past week when Seth Rollins asked Paul Heyman, what happens if I lose to Cody Rhodes? And Paul Heyman says, well, I have to start thinking maybe I made the wrong choice in betraying Roman Reigns. And that could be the crumble. Roman Reigns takes away everything from Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins loses everything because of this match. And that strive to be relevant, that strive to be the number one guy is going to make something happen where Seth Rollins is going to beat Cody Rhodes. I don't think Cody just loses clean. Cody's not in a position to just lose clean, take a pinfall. I think we're going to get a fourth male member of the Vision, maybe like technically a fifth member, and they're going to attack Cody Rhodes, letting Seth Rollins pin Cody Rhodes, win that Crown Jewel Championship, and he's going to be in the War Games match on the Vision side. And it's either going to be someone from NXT coming up, or it could be Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar is going to attack Cody Rhodes, and that's going to have Brock Lesnar in that War Games match. This has even been teased in the promos when Seth Rollins is saying that everything that happens goes through him. Everything Paul Heyman does goes through him, and Cody Rhodes responded by saying, even Paul Heyman going out to introduce Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza, you knew that, you allowed that to happen, and Seth said, everything Paul Heyman does goes through me. I'm aware of everything. So whether he's just trying to, save face and he actually didn't know, but he wants to just not put that out there publicly, could be. But also, maybe with that Paul Heyman connection, that he could call in a favor and that Brock Lesnar would attack Cody Rhodes because they have some history, and he could be a part of that War Games match and let Seth Rollins pick up the victory. In an absolutely perfect world, I would have Seth Rollins just clean, win the match, but it really wouldn't set up further matches on the line. I think Cody should be screwed out of this match. He won it last year, and he doesn't need to win it again this year. He should be screwed over by someone in the Vision, someone that Cody should be going after the pay-per-view, and that should be at War Games. And again, it could be someone from NXT. I've seen like Tony D'Angelo's name thrown around. It could be someone on the Raw roster. I mean, it could be like Ethan Page. It could be Austin Theory. All this kind of stuff that could come out and hurt Cody Rhodes, put him on the Vision, give him another member to voice in their numbers, and that could be how Cody loses. But I don't think Seth should be losing at all. Seth should be winning. He should be pinning Cody Rhodes. It should not be 4-0 Cody. It should be 3-1 Cody, but Seth wins this one. And I want to have the final shot of Crown Jewel, the Vision in full force. I mean, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and their new member, and Becky Lynch, all celebrating with the new Crown Jewel Championship as the show goes off the air. It gives us direction and what we're going towards the next couple months. Because right now, if Cody Rhodes just wins and we get a woohoo celebration and goes off the air, we're thinking, okay, where do we go from here? But if we have Seth Rollins wins, now we're thinking, oh wow, Cody just lost. That's interesting. We can see Cody get pinned. Maybe now that's kind of like the new challenger for that WWE Championship. Maybe he could use that, saying, Cody, you just got pinned. Like, you're not all you're cracked up to be. I just watched you lose. Or right now, as Cody, he's a little self-conscious. Like, listen, maybe I just lost against Seth Rollins. You know, there's always someone going to debut. He had the whole thing with the bloodline where always someone's debuting. I have to watch my back. Who can I trust? I thought I knew that guy. I thought, you know, when Brock Lesnar was here last time we were in a ring together, he shook my hand and raised my hand, but now he's attacking me. There's just so much that he can cause it to be like paranoia and then maybe spiral and lose his championship. But Seth Rollins should not be losing. I think Cody Rhodes can take a loss. He'll be fine, but Seth should not be losing at this point in the career. So overall, I have Cody Rhodes beating Seth Rollins. I have Stephanie Vaquer defeating Tiffany Stratton. John Cena defeating AJ Styles. The Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane defeating Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. And then Bronson Reed defeating Roman Reigns. But leave your predictions in the comment section below so we can play along and see who's right and who's wrong. If you made it this far, thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to me. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.